Okay, so we are in Unit 8, which is talking about loans and different ways you can repay loans. So we're going to start on page 1, which is talking about single payment loans. Single payment loans are loans that you borrow for a period of time and you pay back one time. So this would be, I borrow $1,000 and I'm not making monthly payments. I'm paying back the $1,000 at one time. A promissory note is a type of single payment loan, and you typically sign a promissory note when you borrow money with the expectation that you pay it back. So it's more of like a legal document, a promise of paying it back. The maturity value of the loan is the total amount you must pay back, and this is including interest. So when they say what your interest rate is, your maturity value is how much you borrowed and your interest, the total amount. The term is just the amount of time which the loan is granted. So this can be up from 1 week up to, a year or more, depending on however you decide. If your loan is calculated using ordinary interest, it bases the time of the loan on a 360-day year. I'm not positive why, just does, but ordinary is always 360 days. Exact thinks that there is exactly 365 days in a year. So exact is 365. So, to find your single payment loans and your maturity value, first calculate your interest, which we know is PRT, principal times rate times time. And then take your principal, add whatever interest you found, and that would tell you your maturity value. So for the first example, Miss Ludovisi's bank granted her a single payment loan of $2,700 of 85 days at 10% ordinary interest. So that's 85 days at ordinary interest, which is 360. So the principal is the number we put first. The 0.10 is 10% of the decimal. That 85 out of 360, that's our time, because it's 85 days at ordinary interest, so out of 360. So then I go to my calculator. And I plug all of this in. So 2,700 times 0.10 times 85 out of 360. So that's $63.75. Now that just tells me part 1, which is my interest number. To find my maturity value, like the question asks, I need to take my principal, so 2,700, and add $63.75. Which would be $2,763.75, and this is my maturity value. So then I would ask you, how much did Miss Ludovisi pay in interest? In interest, she paid $63.75. What was the maturity value, including interest? That was $2,763.75. The first part is having us calculate at ordinary interest. So if I go back to the top, ordinary is out of 360, which both of these are out of 360. You should notice something though. Can we multiply by a percent? No, we cannot. So to turn 15% as a decimal, I'm going to turn it into 0.15. To turn 16% into a decimal, I'm going to multiply it by 0.16. Keep all of the other values the same. Go ahead and calculate your interest and your maturity value. So when you do the first one, you multiply, you get 15.625. So find your place. After two places, look next door. That 5 tells the 2 to become a 3. So my interest is $15.63. Mark that with I. My maturity value is to take my principal, so 500, and add $15.63, which is $515.63 is my maturity value. So I take my 1,200, multiply it by 0.16, multiply it by 90 out of 360, and I get $48. To find my maturity value, because this is just my interest, take my 1,200 and add my interest, 1,248. So now we're going to do it again with exact interest. Exact interest is out of 365. So again, I need to turn these percents into decimals. So 1,500 times 0.06 times 85 over 365. I get 20.96. To find my maturity value, 1,500 plus $20.96. $1,520.96. Do it again for the second one. 525 times 0.065 times 120 over 365. That is $11.22. Add your principal with your interest, which is $536.22. Alright, so let's fill in this table again. So when there's an ordinary percent, we're always using out of 360. If it's exact, it's out of 365. And these will go with your term. So when I look at the first one, 800, 3% as a decimal is 0.03. Since I'm in the ordinary, I'm going to divide my term by 360. Then we're going to multiply 800 times 0.03 times 45 out of 360. That is $3 in interest. So then I'm going to add my principal, my 800 plus 3. My maturity value is 803. The second one, no ordinary, I have exact though. 7% as a decimal is 0.07. Since it's exact, I'm going to put this out of 365, and again, I'm going to multiply. So 2060 times 0.07 times 30 out of 365. Get $11.85. I'm going to add my principal with my interest. $2,071.85. The next one, 5% as a decimal is 0.05. It's under exact, so I'm going to make it out of 360. So I'm going to multiply 1,590 times 0.05 times 70 out of 360, which is $15.46. So I'm going to add my principal and my interest. Which is $1,605.46. The last one for this page, 750. 10% as a decimal is 0.10. Since it's under exact, I'm going to divide this by 365. So 750 times 0.10 times 125, 365. It's $25.68. Then I'm going to add my principal plus my interest. 750 plus 25.68, $775.68. If you need to, pause the video. Otherwise, you have classwork and homework to be working on.